Leo, what is going on with you? Come on in, have a seat. Make yourself comfortable. My name's Alan Hill from UnknownTruthTarot.com. Welcome back to another Leo Tarot love reading. In today's reading, we are going to take a behind-the-scenes peek at your romantic person of interest here at the very end of February as we move into March of 2024. I'm going to do that by getting 5 cards to represent your person's energy so we can see what's going on with them, find out if there's anything that your attention and your awareness needs to be brought to about this person you're romantically dealing with here. And then I'm going to clarify all 5 of those cards with a second deck just to make sure we can get down to the bottom of the unknown truth about what's really going on with this person that you're romantically connected to or energetically connected to in some ways. Let's get 5 cards for what's going on with Leo's romantic person of interest as we move into March 2024. Can't believe February's over already. One more, please. What's going on with Leo's person? There we go. Let's see what we have. Holy smokes. Okay. On the bottom of the deck, the overall energy of this reading is the Knight of Cups. Knights are action takers. Cups are about love and emotions. So this is taking actions on love and emotions, moving forward with romantic offers, romantic gestures, trying to advance a love connection or a love offer in some way. This is like taking actions on it. Nine of Pentacles right behind that. This is Virgo energy. This is a singles energy. This is like independent, like I'm self-sufficient, I can take care of myself, I don't need someone to physically or financially take care of me, I can do that on my own. This is a step backwards from the Ten of Pentacles, which would be like that combined together lives where you're living together or building a life together. This is like step backwards, it's single energy here. And then I have Page of Swords right behind that, which it's a page, so it can represent communications, news, messages, things like that. But it can also represent a person who they're like trying to learn something. They're trying to figure something out. They're like doing research or snooping around or investigating or, like digging for something, trying to find answers, trying to figure something out. Looks like about related to being single and moving forward in some romantic love offer thing. I do have another page right behind that. This is the Page of Wands. This is news and messages and communication about passion or desire. So like expressing passionate messages, expressing messages of desire of something. It's also the minor arcana version of the Fool. So it's someone who has the willingness to take the very first steps on something down this new path toward there's this thing that they have passion and desire for. And this is the willingness to like take the first steps on that. Yeah, toward the Ten of Pentacles. There's Virgo energy. This is maximum stability, maximum abundance, maximum prosperity. This is the combining together of 2 people or 2 families and all the assets and resources to build this stable, abundant, prosperous home life that we all want. This is like combining lives together and building a life together. So it's looking like, as of right now, Leo, your person there's this idea here at least of moving forward with this. There's this energy here that says I'm physically not together with you here, and I'm trying to figure out how to get these first steps taken. Having the willingness to take the first steps, but there's this like particular focus on like not actually being together, but being like trying to figure this out like by myself piece. That's the underlying energy here. So that's probably the gist of what this is probably going to talk to me about. What actually came out in your person's energy, Leo. We got the Tower as their first card, the King of Pentacles, Death, the Hierophant, and the 8 of Cups. Out of the 5 cards, 3 are major arcana. This is like really powerful energy. Like we have a lot more control to exercise our free will over like the minor arcana energies here. Like we have a lot less control to use free will with major arcana energies, and there's a lot of them here. This is already feeling like there's something beyond your person's control, or at least they feel like that. First card's always the most important. For your person, it's the Tower. This is the collapse of something, some important structure in their life. Sometimes this is the collapse of the relationship. Sometimes this is like a foundation rocking event where something important to them they lose. Sometimes this is the collapse of a belief system, like this mental model of the world that they're operating from, where they believe things are this certain way and they're navigating life based on that. And then the belief shatters and now it's like nothing's the same as it was the day before this happens. And it's really hard to see the path moving forward after something like that happens. So let's clarify this and find out what's going on with your person. Why is this Tower here, please? Let's get 2 more on this Tower. Okay, we'll take an extra one, no problem. Make sure nothing else flips in there. Okay. On the bottom of the deck, 7 of Swords. This is Aquarius energy. This is sometimes lying, cheating, stealing, deception, someone sneaking around behind your back trying to get away with something that they shouldn't be trying to get away with. That's not the only meaning to the card. Sometimes it can represent self-preservation, like I don't want to be hurt, which is why the dude is stealing the 5 swords here. He doesn't want the swords used to hurt him, so he steals them to make sure that he can't be hurt. Sometimes it represents leaving something behind because he can't carry all 7 swords and he has to leave 2 of them behind. 2 of Wands is right behind that. This is Aries energy. It's a fork in the road. It's a crossroads, either in your person's life or in this relationship. It's a decision point for them about what is it I want my world to be like, which path gets me to the world that I actually want, and which path do I have to leave behind to get there. It's that choice point where you got to like actually choose. You can't go left and right at the same time. 5 of Pentacles is right behind that. This is Taurus energy. This is abandonment. This is being cast aside, being left out in the cold, walked away from, discarded. Sometimes this energy is like, it's a breakup energy, but sometimes can be an energy of someone who have this feeling of not being good enough for some reason. 9 of Pentacles, there's that single energy again. It's Virgo energy. It's a step back from the 10 of Pentacles. We've already seen this. We've already seen the 10 of Pentacles and the 9 of Pentacles in this little story. Oh, I didn't go far enough because right behind that is the Hanged Man, like progress being halted. Nothing's moving forward. Things are stuck. So, and that brings up another meaning for the 7 of Swords. It's not always cheating and deception and stuff like that. Like I said, it can be self-preservation. It could be leaving something behind, but it can also represent having to come up with some clever new strategy in order to like get what you want here. Like having the choice about what I want and maybe coming up with a new strategy to get that, but something's off here. Something's off. There's either been some sort of a breakup or some sort of a financial loss here. And that's tied to the choice that they have. And I can't shake that feeling of like feeling like I'm not good enough for the thing that I want. And I'm trying to figure it out how to get it without getting hurt. Something's off here. 9 of Pentacles is that singles energy again. 9 of Cups. So there's physically single. There's emotionally single. This person feels like they're going through something rough right now. And then there's the 10 of Pentacles behind it. It's like, that's what I want. And I'm not good enough because I'm only getting the 9. There's something here that is like happiness and wish fulfillment for this person. But they don't feel like they have it yet. And it's related to combining lives together. It's also related to leaving something behind and moving forward towards something else. This 6 of Swords is more Aquarius energy. I'm getting screamed at about 5 of Swords. I don't have 5 of Swords out here. But in the 7 of Swords, like if this is about not wanting to be hurt, he's stealing the 5 of Swords. And the 5 of Swords is a mentally and psychologically painful situation or painful event. Sometimes it's a betrayal. Sometimes it's like a conflict in like thinking or conflict verbally. Like sometimes it can even be physical conflict. But he's stealing the source of the mentally and psychologically painful thing. And this card, the 6 of Swords, is about moving away from the 5 of Swords. It's about like the painful thing has already happened. And this is me leaving the pain in the past and moving forward toward what I want. This is almost feeling like in order to actually get here, something has to be left behind. I've got that reference here too of something being left behind, and there's some strategy related to A, not getting hurt, and B, leaving something behind. Okay, that's what's underlying the Tower. What actually came out to clarify the Tower: Ace of Swords, King of Pentacles, the Sun, and the World. Ace of Swords. This is the sword of truth. It's the sword of victory. It's the sword of clarity. It's also the sword you make decisions with. The word decision, the Latin word decision comes from, literally means to cut off, as in like to cut off the other options until there's only one option left. And that is how, like, literally how a decision's made. I see the choice here. There's two options, this path or that path. And this is like cutting one of those options away. It can represent the sword you would use to sever a relationship with as well. I am clarifying the Tower. This could be interpreted as there's some sneaky, deceptive stuff that was going on in the background, and they had some sort of a choice, and whatever path they picked led to a breakup and an abandonment and being single and all of that. And if that's the case, then that happened during a time when there was this like combined together life, or at least going down the path toward that. This could be the collapse of all that and the severing of the connection. Hard to tell at this point. It already feels like I'm getting two messages bleeding together, because for somebody, this is definitely, I don't want to get hurt, and there's something that needs left behind, whether that's them needing to leave it behind or they think you need to leave something behind. But there's some like trying to figure out a strategy to get down the path that I want, and probably some element of not feeling good enough or having some sort of a physical loss, like that's usually like financial loss or loss of material possessions and stuff like that. The next card to clarify the Tower is the King of Pentacles. That's actually the next card that we're going to clarify for them, because it's the next card in their energy. This is Virgo or Taurus energy. This is usually like husband energy, father energy. Like it's half of that equation that builds the Ten of Pentacles. The King and the Queen build that together as equals. I got the King aspect here. This could be how they're viewing you. This could be them either having something happening where there's this severing of husband, or there's this severing of idea of husband or belief in husband. This one is a little harder to spin, except that it could also be that like the thing that's being left behind here is the Two Swords, and the Two of Swords is a decision that needs to be made, and it hasn't been made yet for some reason. Well, there's the decision, there's the decision, and that leads down the path toward husband type energy, toward the other half that's going to build their life with me. It's also tied to the Sun, which is the Leo Major Arcana. This is the happiest card in the deck. It's happiness, joy, bliss, harmony. Like you can't get a better card than that in a love reading. And it's tied to this idea of husband, this idea of like provider or building my life around someone. It's like possibly even viewing you as the source of happiness that they have, and having that tied to this idea about you, or tied to that idea about themselves for you. The final card we have is the World. It's the ending of one cycle, and at the same time, the beginning of the next cycle. This is the final card of the Major Arcana. After this, you start back over at the Fool again. So this is an ending and a new beginning at the same time. In terms of zodiac signs, it's the four fixed signs: Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, and Scorpio. I'm still not 100% certain what the Tower represents. That can just be like some shocking thing happens. There's a severing of the connection. It could be like game changer when now this idea that this is like a new strategy to get what I want. The Ace of Swords can represent a new idea. Very strange so far. Hopefully I get some more clarity with this King of Pentacles. Like I said, it's Virgo or Taurus energy. It's usually husband energy, father energy. Like sometimes that can be like a business person, like someone who owns a business or is building an empire financially, or like works for themselves, like an independent contractor, freelancer, someone who has like an important position in a business and is like somewhere in charge of making money. This is usually a person who has their financial act together. Tell me about this King of Pentacles, please. Why is the King of Pentacles here in Leo's person's energy? And tell me that. Okay, what do we have? On the bottom of the deck, the Star. This is Aquarius Major Arcana energy. This is a card of healing. It's a card of hope. Sometimes this can be a card of wish fulfillment. Sometimes when I see this in a love reading, it can represent that your person is looking at you like you're the one for them. This is also card 17 of the Major Arcana. Card 16, the one that comes right before this, is the Tower, which is their first card. So you don't make it to the Star without going through the Tower first in some way. When the Tower collapses and nothing's the same as it was yesterday, and now like this belief I had has been shattered, and I don't know what the hell to even do anymore. Like, how do I move forward from here? You can't see the path. Well, this is the guiding light from the universe that lights the way for you so you can see the path moving forward. This is where hope comes from. It's where healing comes from. Usually, for me, this represents that someone has the hope that something can be healed here. The Emperor. This is Aries Major Arcana energy. This is an energy of control. It's about taking control, taking charge of the situation. It's a master manifester in the sense of it. It is someone who has all the tools, abilities, and resources to put together a plan to get what they want and then execute that plan to get what they want. It's like taking charge of it all. It can be a negative energy sometimes. Like a lot of times that's great energy. This ain't the person that sits on the couch wishing and hoping that something shows up, like the knight in shining armor shows up at my front door and hands me everything I want and I don't have to do anything. No, this ain't that dude. This is the dude that's going to move mountains to make sure the plan he has happens. And that can easily be taken too far and to go from being in control to being controlling. There could be some need to heal that. There could be some husband type, either they're viewing you as husband or they're viewing themselves as husband toward you, and this would be like healing and taking control of something, or having the hope that something can be taken control of. Hell, this sometimes is even a person that isn't either of you that's blocking something. Now, they're trying to take control of commitment here. The Taurus Major Arcana card, this is the Hierophant. It's about being committed to something bigger than you, being fully committed to it. Being like in a relationship, it's being fully committed to the relationship and taking that to the next level of engagement and marriage and living together. 3 Major Arcana cards in a row again. Queen of Wands. There's some Leo, sometimes Aries energy. This is a bold, passionate, fiery, determined person who knows exactly what they want. They usually don't take no for an answer. They go get what they want. This is either them having a lot of passion and desire and attraction toward you. Is it? Or how they're viewing you. Or it could even be all the desire that they have toward the Hierophant here, which is connected to that. So, commitment. King of Swords, this Aquarius or Gemini energy. So I've got 2 different kings here. It can just be 2 different aspects of you as how they're viewing you, 2 different aspects of themselves. It's very weird that I see the 7 of Swords and it's like, yeah, that might be happening for some reason. There might be like some sneaky deceptive shit, but that doesn't seem to be the main theme that's coming through here. This is usually like very smart, logical, analytical, like critical thinker, someone who's very... They believe in the truth and the facts. Like, I don't care how you feel about something. And that like what I do for a living would sound crazy to the King of Swords. It would be like, yeah, well, how can you prove any of that's even real? Like, he doesn't doesn't use his intuition, doesn't use his emotions. He tries to put that stuff to the side and make just very logical, rational, analytical decisions without concern for how something feels or what emotions are there for anyone. That might be an element that's getting in the way. Might be a person that's getting in the way. When I clarify this King of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, Four of Swords. Six of Pentacles is Taurus energy. This is usually balance. It's usually generosity and reciprocity. Like you scratch my back, I scratch your back. You take care of me, I take care of you. This is equal give and take, where no one's taking out more than they're putting in, or vice versa. No one's putting in more than they're getting back from this. This is equal give and take. That's tied to the Ace of Swords, though. So either some idea or some decision, it can every once in a while represent the merchant giving to two, as in like the merchant and then there's two people involved, or that's what they think is going on. But it doesn't feel like that at all. I feel like I'm stretching to say that. Seven of Pentacles, so I have escalating energy. I got a lot of Pentacle energy here, and we're going from the 6 to the 7. So there's some sort of progress in the physical world there. Whether that's financial progress or some other way, it's in the physical world. This is a Taurus energy, again, of a period of time where there's this pause to reflect and take stock of this connection and take stock of the seeds that have been planted between the two of you, trying to determine, is this ever going to turn into the Ten of Pentacles I really want, that combined together life that I really want? Is this worth me continuing to invest my time, effort, and energy into this? Or is this a spot where maybe it isn't going to pan out the way I want, and maybe I should cut my losses and move on? That could be why there's this Tower here. There's the collapse of some belief, and there's the sword that you would cut the losses to move on with, but then there's this looking like either balancing it out. It's the King of Pentacles is tied to the Six of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles here. So it's looking like there's this contemplating about you and whether or not to cut you off. And then there's this you balancing things out is what it's feeling like. And then we got Ten of Swords. Like, if they're thinking about cutting losses and move on, this is Gemini energy of a painful, like a swift, painful ending. Sometimes this is an ending in betrayal. Sometimes this is just like stabbed in the back. This just like, no matter how you slice this, it's an ending to something. But it's tied directly to happiness, like the happiest card in the deck. It looks like they're weighing this out. And they spend some time doing that with hope that things are going to get healed and that things are going to be taken control of in terms of commitment. I'm wondering what this King of Swords is and this Emperor. I don't know if this is another person that's kind of like blocking things, or if this King of Swords is an element that they see in you or themselves, where it's like common sense and logic are saying something that would be like conflicting with what emotions are saying. But there's this period of time to reflect on something, or even a period of time to wait for something to pan out and develop and be like fully developed and mature, so I can like harvest it and do something with it. Like waiting on something to like turn into what this balance thing would be, but then ending. Final clarifier for the King of Pentacles is the Four of Swords. This is Libra energy. Fours are about stability. Swords are about the mind, the thoughts. So stabilizing the thoughts, stabilizing the mind, calming the mind down, like taking a pause, taking a rest, taking a break. Sometimes this is a break in the connection, like we're taking a break, a time out from each other. Sometimes this is an energy about, look, I need to calm my thinking down here, and I need to go inside myself and chill out so I can like think straight and figure out what to do here. Because like this ending is freaky, and it's sitting right beside the world, the ending of one cycle, the beginning of a new cycle. And that ending and the beginning and ending of a cycle is tied to happiness, which is tied to King of Pentacles, and that's the column that I'm clarifying. So they have some back and forth debate about you. Central to their energy is death. This is the Scorpio Major Arcana card. I'm getting a lot of fixed sign energy here. I've said Leo several times. I've said Taurus several times. I've got the World, which is Leo and Taurus and Scorpio and Aquarius. I've said Aquarius several times. Hell, I've got the Star Aquarius Major Arcana. The Taurus Major Arcana is coming next. Got a lot of fixed sign energy out here. Death is another ending type of a card. This is something dying so it can be reborn again in a different way. It's usually a very painful transition period, a painful transformation process. If you think about the caterpillar, it goes into a cocoon, and when it comes out the other side, the caterpillar is not there anymore. It comes out as a butterfly instead. So yeah, sure, it comes out better than when it went in, but that's a painful transition period. A painful metamorphosis is happening inside that cocoon, and the caterpillar aspect of itself dies, and it's replaced by something else. Sometimes I'll see this in a personal reading when there's something new trying to come into a person's life and it doesn't have room to fit because the spot it belongs in is already occupied by something else, and the thing that's occupying the spot currently is already dead. They just haven't let it fall away yet to make room for the new thing. I'm going to clarify this and see what's going on. Why is death here for Leo's person? Raised up their central energy, please. I just saw the Three of Swords flip up and show itself and then go right back in and not come out. Three of Swords would be like heartbreak and sadness, usually from a third energy. Okay. On the bottom of the deck, there's the Star again. Again, Aquarius Major Arcana energy. This is hope. This is healing. This is like viewing you as the one for me. It's the card that comes after the Tower, and I'm looking at death right now. There's the Tower, the Ten of Swords, death, death again in the clarifier. Something's going on big here for this person. This is having the hope that things can be healed and that we can move forward. Something has died or very dramatically changed. Right behind the Star is the Three of Cups. This is Cancer energy. This is about being united and celebrating, or even reunited and celebrating. Sometimes this can represent 3 cups of love are in the picture, so it can be a third party thing going on, and that there can be hope to be reunited after that. I really don't see anything that's telling me that, though. Which makes me think that there's at least a handful of people that are going to watch this, that is what's happening for them. But it's like, it's really hard to connect this story to that. So I don't know. I got the Queen of Swords behind that. This is Libra energy. This is she who knows the truth. She's about speaking the truth on something and also cutting off the thing or the person that's not in her best interest anymore. Very like intellectual, very thought-oriented person here. And then there's the Emperor. This is that energy of control. Like, this is feeling like somebody blocking something and causing some kind of problem, and somebody trying to control something. Because cutting off the control doesn't make a lot of sense. Unless there's some element of control that's preventing commitment from taking place. The Hierophant. It's going to explain that next, because the Hierophant is their next card. It's very strange how this reading is playing out. When I clarify death, I get the Knight of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, and Death again. Knight of Pentacles is a very slow-moving energy. It's the slowest knight in the deck. This is like the snail's pace, like it's molasses, one drip at a time. It's very slow progress to the point that it's frustrating. I usually see this when someone wants something like yesterday, and it seems like nothing's happening. When you're going through the Knight of Pentacles, it feels like the Hanged Man. It's hard to tell the difference between this and the Hanged Man sometimes, because it literally feels like nothing's happening. It is. It's just so damn slow you can't tell. It's like watching your own hair grow or something. It's growing, you just can't tell. It can also represent a person who knows what they're supposed to do. He's got this Ace of Pentacles in his hand and he's looking right at it, but he doesn't do it. Like, the fields are still empty behind him. He hasn't planted the seed yet. It's moving into the future. I got the Knight of Cups on the bottom, moving into the future. Like, all three of these cards are moving in the same direction, all into the future. And like, these even look very similar to each other. So there's like some element of moving into the future, that a decision is required, something needs balanced out to make it happen. Hey, this is a card of receiving money. So it can represent that there's this, whatever needs to happen requires money, and getting the money is slow progress. It's like being able to move into the future is slow. Ace of Wands is next. This is a passionate new beginning in passion and desire. This is also the phallic symbol of the tarot deck. It represents the male phallus, using it to be intimate, sexual energy, sex. I got King of Pentacles, like husband, father, like person that's building life with me or around me, and a period of contemplating, or a period of time where I'm waiting on something to develop. And it could be this passionate new beginning. This could even be like re-sparking a connection, or being able to, like, could be that the connection has died, and that's why there's the Tower in Death and the Ten of Swords. And there's progress and hope that this is being put back together and balanced out. And I think a period of time has gone by where it hasn't been balanced out still. And that might be coming to an end here. I've got Death as the final clarifier for Death. So like, whenever I clarify a card and I get the same card, it's the universe going, dude, I'm telling you, something died and something else is being reborn in its place. As literally right next to the Ten of Swords, the ending, like the swift ending to something. Sometimes that's an ending you don't see coming, and sometimes it's an ending, maybe they didn't see it coming. It can be an ending in betrayal, or at least where they felt betrayed. And that's tied to happiness here. Man. I got a lot of Knights, which can represent forward movement. I've got the World, which can represent travel. We got the Eight of Cups out here, which can represent travel. Like, there could be some distance. I saw at the beginning, 9 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles. I think it's here, in the overall energy. It's there's the us together, and then brakes are on. And this is like trying to move forward toward, like, as single right here, and trying to figure out being single and having the willingness to take the steps toward being together, but there's something stopping it. It might be travel is stopping it. It might be money is stopping it. We might have some, I've seen a buttload of Aquarius, King of Swords, and stuff. Like, this Aquarius major arcana card, we might have an Aquarius getting in the way. There's definitely commitment is what's being moved toward up at this point, because the very next card in their energy is the Taurus Major Arcana card, the Hierophant. Commitment in a relationship. It's being fully committed to it, taking it to the next level. Marriage, living together, something along those lines. Going like all the way with it. Why is the Hierophant here in Leo's person's energy at the end of February, beginning of March, please? Okay. I have to check this. It feels like something flipped. Yeah, it did. On the bottom of the deck, 5 of Pentacles. Taurus energy again. So I'm saying the fixed signs a lot. Do I have any non-fixed sign energy? And there's Taurus. It could be Virgo in times. Oh, fixed sign. Again, that's fixed sign unless it's Virgo. Fixed sign. There's Gemini, okay, and Libra. Scorpio's fixed sign. Taurus is fixed sign. Man, you might be dealing with a fixed sign, or somebody that has a lot of fixed energy in their chart, or maybe you do. I don't know. 5 of Pentacles is Taurus energy of abandonment, being cast aside, being left out in the cold. This is a breakup type of an energy, and it's related to, like, this is what's underlying commitment here. It's also interesting to note that 5s represent conflict and change. And the major arcana 5 is the Hierophant, and he rules over the 5s of the 4 suits. Got too much conflict here, but I've seen this more than once. So this is some sort of physical change, financial conflict, feeling not good enough for the commitment, feeling abandonment of the commitment. The Fool, this is the first card of the major arcana, card 0. This is like absolutely nothing and the potential for everything all at the same time. It's about taking that blind leap of faith. Like, screw it, I'm just going to go for it. I don't need to know what the steps are before I take the first step. I don't need to know what the end result is going to be before I take the first step. I'm just going to leap off the cliff, and I'll worry about how to grow wings on my way down. This is like, that's a very, very interesting energy. And then 7 of Swords behind that. Okay, I mean, that's either like leaping first and then trying to figure the strategy out later, or there's this commitment and an abandonment of it because something was done, like maybe before any risks were assessed, like risk-taking type behavior, foolish behavior. And then like the strategy comes after that. But this could also just as easily be, we got a breakup here because somebody was taking risks where they shouldn't, and they were doing lying, cheating, deceptive stuff. There's 4 of Pentacles behind it though, Capricorn. This is like holding on tightly to something and not wanting to let go of it. That's interesting. When I clarify the Hierophant, I get the 2 of Wands, the 9 of Cups, 5 of Swords, 8 of Pentacles. I got 1 of each type here. I got Wands, Cups, Swords, and Pentacles here, clarifying the Hierophant. 2 of Wands is Aries energy. It's that fork in the road for them, a crossroads in their life, maybe a crossroads in this connection. It's a decision point for them about what is it that they really want for their life. What do they want their world to be like? And which of these 2 paths is going to get me there? And which one do I need to leave behind? Next, I have the 9 of Cups. This is a step backwards from the 10 of Cups. This is Pisces energy. The 10 of Cups is like that happily ever after that we all want. It's everybody's goal in love and relationships, that happy fairy tale love connection. This is a step backwards. This is like emotionally single, emotionally by myself. I'm happy and content in and of myself. I don't need this other person to make me feel whole or make me feel loved or to make me feel worthy of any of that. I can do that for myself. I'm wondering though, because I got 5 of Pentacles here. This can sometimes be like on the negative side. It can be somebody who's self-centered and like my own personal happiness and wish fulfillment is the most important thing to me. That could be why I'm at this choice here about commitment. Or maybe this is how they're viewing you, that you're at a choice about it and what is it that you actually want. It looks like what they want is passionate new beginning or like re-sparking of this connection. But there's the 5 of Swords here. This is Aquarius energy. Again, 5s are conflict. This is like conflict in thinking about commitment, about what it is that like is my wish fulfillment, what is it I want, or this is a conflict in communicating about that, like bitter words being spoken and like an argument happening, a fight. Sometimes this is a betrayal. Sometimes, especially if I have 9 of Cups with it, it can be a person that has a winning at all costs mentality. Like, I'm going to get what I want. Like, what I want is more important than what you want. It can be that. Whatever this is a mentally and psychologically painful situation or event at its core. And again, it's a 5 in the column with the Hierophant, the 5 of the major arcana, another 5 on the bottom here. I got conflict, like mental conflict, physical conflict, or mental and physical change happening here. Death, 10 of Swords. I still feel like I'm getting 2 separate messages here. Like, for some people, like, this is feeling like there's this deceptive bad stuff that happened in the background. But then the main message is like, there's this trying to get something healed and get it moved forward and get to commitment. And that's either getting hung up at times, or it's moving so slow I can't tell. And like, it makes me like rethink all of it and decide whether or not that's what I even still want with you. And it's like, then something changes, and then it's like it changes back because there's this balancing out, and I've had time to think and calm my thoughts down. And then now there's this decision about what is it that I want, what makes me happy. And then there's this conflict again. And Eight of Pentacles, Virgo energy of work, putting in time, effort, and energy to get what you want. At some point, I think I remember saying something about there might be like a decision about money that has to come in before things can move forward, and that's coming slow. This is the card of putting in that work. Like this could be like, okay, how do I end the cycle that's between us and start the next cycle here? And I'm trying to calm down to figure that out, and I have a gap in my information, and then there's this work that has to happen. And it could be even if like there's big distance and travel going to be required to like get happiness and husband energy and balance and this to finally pan out, there's something that has to be figured out about that. And there's like this gap. In other words, I haven't figured out yet how to do that. And it's related to like doing the work to make the money. And that part hasn't been figured out yet. That could be the thing that's going slow. Either way, we got final card for them. Eight of Cups. This is Pisces energy of emotionally detaching, physically walking away. The person on the card walks away from 8 full cups of love because they think there's something better out there for them. So that could be they get the grass is greener on the other side of the fence syndrome, and they got to go find out. In which case, they almost always find out it's not greener, and then they try to come back. Another thing that this could mean is like this could be like feeling like I'm never going to get any better than 8 cups out of this person. It's like this is legit the best they're capable of. And if I want my 9th cup and my own happiness, and if I want that 10th cup, like that being combined together emotionally and the happily ever after that we all want, I ain't going to get it here. And I got to detach and walk away. Maybe this is them feeling like this connection isn't good enough. Tell me about this 8 of Cups. Why is that here for Leo's romantic person interest? End of February, moving into March 2024. Thank you. Bottom of the deck, Queen of Swords. Libra energy. This is she who knows the truth. This is like speaking the truth on something and then cutting off the person and the thing that I don't want. This almost looks like, look, the conversation where all of that comes out. Like, look, I'm trying to move forward, and like this is the best I'm going to get out of this, and I got to tell you, like, that's not good enough for me, and like I got to cut this off. Oh, it could be that someone went to see if the grass is greener on the other side of the fence during this commitment, and that's what's brought a lot of this change. And this could be the severing of the connection because of the 3rd cup of love, but this could also be, hey, there was this severing and now I want to be reunited and celebrating. The Star, there's that hope that it can be healed. Man. 2 of Cups. This is Cancer energy. It's a love connection between 2 people. I breathe you in, you breathe me in. We're connected, but it is a 2, and 2s are about choices and decisions, so it could be a decision about this connection. I think there's at least somebody watching this that there's a decision about more than one person. And there's a lot of emotions here, though. Cups. I'm clarifying a cup. There's a cup on the bottom of the deck. There's a lot of love and emotions here. The 6 of Cups is Scorpio energy of the past, thinking about the past, reminiscing about the past, thinking about the good old days and the way things used to be between the 2 of you. This represents a very deep emotional connection. It represents history between the 2 of you. What am I dropping here? Queen of Swords. There's some element of severing that's important here. and being reunited. This can also represent something or someone from the past making a comeback. I even said here, usually what they find out when they go to see is the grass greener over there is that it's not, and they try to come back. Temperance. There's some reconciliation energy for you there too. This is the Sagittarius Major Arcana card. In tarot, water represents love and emotions, and here the water, the love, has been separated into two different cups, and the angel is combining it back together, blending the two people back together so that they're reunited after a severing happened. When I clarify this Eight of Cups, I get the Ace of Cups, Five of Wands, Knight of Swords, Five of Cups. So even out of these four clarifiers, two are cups. There's a lot of love all over the place here. A lot of something about stability, either in family life or stability in money, or viewing you as husband or viewing themselves as husband, whichever, however that goes in your particular case. Happiness. We got escalating wand energy there, like passion increasing, desire increasing, probably aimed at commitment. Ace of Cups is a new beginning in love and emotion. So this can be like a new beginning with a new person. Like I've walked away to go get a new person, and that's what the severing was about. And that's how we got from 2 cups to 3. But that's not really what it's feeling like. This is feeling like refilling the cup back up, like starting over at square one and like actually moving forward with the cup here. There's a decision about that. Five of Wands, that's Leo energy. Fives are conflict. Again, with the conflict, this is a conflict in desires, like an internal conflict about, well, a piece of me wants this and a piece of me wants that, and now I'm playing tug of war inside what it is that I desire here. I'm torn in multiple different directions at the same time about what makes me happy, or about how to get that cup that I'm missing here. It could be that your person, Leo, thinks that there's something that you need to detach from and walk away from, and to walk away from what you currently have toward the cup with them, and they're seeing an internal conflict with you. Or it could be that they're internally conflicted. I'm not sure. This one, I will admit, is confusing the shit out of me, because it feels like I got at least 2 or 3 different main messages coming through here. The Knight of Swords is the fastest moving knight in the deck. We've already seen the slowest moving knight out here tied to the Death card. This is the opposite extreme. This is like very fast, decisive action on something. This usually ain't the person that reads the instruction manual. This is usually the person that just does it and they don't think about it first, or while they're even doing it, they just do it and then they're out and they think about it after it's already done. That could be what this betrayal is telling me about, like they did something spontaneous and spur of the moment, or they're viewing that as what you did. Man, that's tied to the Death and the Ten of Swords, and happiness is like, I got happiness over here. I'm trying to get to it fast, but then there's all this in the middle. Final clarifier for the Eight of Cups is the Five of Cups. This is Scorpio energy. Again with the 5s. So now I've literally seen all of the 5s. All of them. All 5s of the 4 suits and the Hierophant. The 5 of the Major Arcana. There ain't no more 5s left. Ain't no more conflict and change left. This is like sadness and remorse about the past. It's being focused on the 3 cups that have been spilled, and all the love and emotions that have been spilled and wasted. All the time, effort, and energy that's been spilled and wasted. There are still 2 upright cups in the background. There is still a connection between the 2 of you. Just that's not where the focus is. And that's kind of like the core meaning of the card. Whatever a person focuses on literally dictates to them what emotions they feel. If you focus on the past, you feel what you felt in the past. If you focus on something you've lost, you will feel the loss. If you focus on something that's missing, you will feel that gap in your life. Meanwhile, there's stuff behind them that could make them happy if they focused on that instead, but they're focused on what they're missing here. and the work that needs put in on it, and the gap in like being able to like calm the mind down to figure out what to do so that the way it is right now can come to an end, and the way that makes them happy can begin. And it looks like the way that makes them happy is either they're viewing you as the husband type energy, Leo, or they're viewing you as like the husband type energy to you. And it's like what needs to happen to change everything the way it is some kind of a decision to where all other options have been cut off. But that decision is tied to balancing something out and possibly getting money, possibly having to put work in on it to be able to move it forward at the right speed. And ultimately, like, get to the thing that you want, which is the cup of love here. There's just some shit that's in the way. Now, if you still have questions you want answered about this situation or your relationship, click on any of the videos that just appeared on your screen right now. When you do, you'll be taken to more Leo love readings that can give you more insight and more clarity about what's really going on in your particular situation, and I'll see you in the next video.